There's still a notion within the Dead by Daylight community that BHVR is a small company. It's not and hasn't been in a long time. In 2025 alone, they've made over $95 million in revenue. That's not chump change. They're no longer this cute little indie company making a passion project. They're a corporation who regularly collaborates with titans such as Resident Evil and Stranger Things, and I think that's what the community at large needs to realize. Maybe back in 2016, issues like this were excusable, but that was nigh 10 years ago. A decade has passed since then of consistent growth and success. People need to reevaluate their view of BHVR as a company and start treating them as they would any other game studio. On the topic of BHVR as a large corporation, people need to stop giving them the benefit of the doubt. I understand that it's in good faith, but BHVR absolutely knows better. They're taking advantage of what is, at the end of the day, an extremely loyal player base, exploiting their forgiveness to get away with scummy tactics. The most recent example which comes to mind would be BHVR pulling a stunt to excuse themselves from ever revisiting the idea of skins for killer powers, a feature the community has been requesting for years. The reason they did this was due to the extremely tangled and unstable code. Rather than admitting they might have a problem and acknowledging the game's horrific code while they're at it, they decided to take the literal dog out back and shoot it, that being the Houndmaster's dog, creating a skin which would, for the first time in the game's history, change the model of a killer's power. The point of contention is that not only did they intentionally pilot this feature on a killer they clearly hated and neglected from the start, they also took the lazy route. Rather than creating a new cosmetic slot so players could freely change the skin of the killer power, they instead linked the power's new skin to a notoriously awful cosmetic. This way, the skin would undersell and be poorly received. Also, they could play dumb and say, "We tried doing it, but you guys didn't like it," abandoning the idea and moving on from it because it wasn't profitable, pretending as if they didn't specifically manufacture that outcome.